Hello, folks. Welcome back again to this weekly forecast. We'll be starting with the dollar index. So on the dollar index, you can see that this weekly volume imbalance was traded to in premium of this range, traded into this weekly volume imbalance, held very nicely and broke down, created this weekly fair value gap. And as you can see, price has respected it nicely for 2 weeks now. Price has failed to close above that weekly fair value gap, and this last week candle showing the strong bearish momentum candle. So since bearish PDRAs are being respected on the weekly chart, my bias on the weekly for the dollar index will be bearish. If you are bearish, where possibly can price reach for? There is this sell side liquidity here, and we have these equal lows down here as well. Okay, now let's break down the chart on the daily chart. Going down to the daily, this is the weekly fair value gap that I showed you. As you can see, price has respected it nicely, failed to go above it. Now we have this order block. These two up close candles are your bearish order block. Price has respected it nicely on the daily chart, and also on the weekly fair value gap respected nicely. Now on the daily chart, what do you see here? There is a shift in market structure of this low. There is a liquidity grab of this high. So the daily chart has shifted bearish, right? So where could price rate to if you are bearish? We have this sell side liquidity here, and then this old fair value gap, price could possibly return into it. And if price is overzealous with its bearish momentum, it can seek this sell side liquidity, as we have this clean equal lows down here as possible target for the week. So I'm bearish on the DSY for the week. Monday, I would like to see a power of 3. We open for the new weekly candle, push up a little bit to create a high of the week, and then sell off. Now let's look at the 1 hour chart. Now on the 1 hour chart, you can see that we have this clean fair value gap. The price has not tapped into it yet. So I'm expecting that Monday price will pull back into this fair value gap, and then during a kill zone, break structure, and then sell off to those sell side liquidities, right? So if I'm bearish on the dollar index, it means I am bullish on the euro dollar and the pound dollar, right? It's because they are inversely correlated pairs. So let's look at euro dollar. Since I'm bearish on the DSY, I am bullish on the euro. So looking at the euro dollar, as you can see, in regard to this weekly range, price traded into discounts, respected this volume imbalance here perfectly, rejected, created a weekly fair value gap here, price came into it, respected it. There was a bearish fair value gap here, which price struggled to close above. But last week candle showed a very nice momentum shift, closing above that weekly fair value gap. So within this week, I'm expecting this bearish fair value gap to act as an inversion to then offer support to continue the bullish momentum into this buy side liquidity, and then this buy side liquidity, this equal highs here, right? So that's my expectation. And then if price shows a lot of strength, there is a weekly volume imbalance here that I'm expecting price to come and fill. And also there is this buy side liquidity here. So I am bullish on the euro dollar for this week. Monday or Tuesday can form the low of the week. Since I'm bullish, pull back to this inversion fair value gap and then give a continuation. Now let's go to the daily chart. Now the daily chart, this low that you see here, the price wick below before reversing, Now, this is very low on Friday, 30th June. Look at the timeline down here. That very low Friday, 30th June, which was swept on the euro. When you check the pound dollar, there was an SMT divergence. That low was not swept. So there's an SMT divergence right here. I'll show you that on the pound soon. So as you can see, after the SMT divergence, price, we swept this low into the weekly fair value gap. Go back to the weekly. Like this, the weekly fair value gap. SMT divergence into the weekly fair value gap after sweeping this low on the daily chart. And then a shift in market structure on the daily chart. Right? So I am bullish on the euro dollar. As I said, if I'm bearish on the dollar index, I mean I'm bullish on the euro. There is buy side liquidity here, which price can seek. And then there is this buy side liquidity here, perfect equal highs. Resting liquidity there will be engaged. And then we have this old high, also a buy side liquidity pool, right? Now let's go to the 1 hour chart. I'll show you something. Now going to the 1 hour chart, there is also this clean fair value gap. The price is hovering above it. So during a kill zone, I'm expecting price to dip into that fair value gap, give a market structure shift, give us entry, and then boom, we will buy to target buy side liquidity. So that's my bias on euro. So take note of the SMT divergence right here, this low at Friday, 30th June. Let me show you that same low on the pound dollar. And you can see that on the pound dollar, we didn't take that low. Okay, so Friday, 30th June. Let me try and mark that. Friday, 30th June. So this 30th June on Friday, you can see that price didn't sweep it. Okay, so let me go to the 4 hour chart. Yeah, so this very low that you see here on the pound, on the euro, price came down to sweep it, but on the pound, price didn't sweep it. So that's an SMT divergence between the euro and the pound. And what it means is that on the euro, price only took the low to accumulate smart money long positions, right? Because since euro and then the pound dollar moves in tandem, we expect that they should move likewise. But in the case where we swept a low on the euro dollar, but that same low on the pound was not swept, it means smart money is accumulating long positions from this sell side liquidity, okay, to pair their buy orders. And that's what you're seeing here. So I am bullish to this buy side. So on the pound, I'm also bullish. Now let's work it off from the daily chart on the pound. So on the daily chart, in regard to this range, price pullbacks into discount, into this bullish order block. Reacted, there is a shift in market structure above this high on the daily chart. So I am bullish to this buy side liquidity, and I'm bullish to this order block on the weekly chart. Let me quickly show you that. This up close candle on the weekly chart, this weekly order block is also a draw on liquidity. And then there is this volume imbalance on the weekly chart, also a possible draw on liquidity. And since I'm expecting lower prices on the DSY, it should support higher prices on the dollar, on the pound dollar. Okay, as simple as that. So let's go to the 1 hour chart. And on the 1 hour chart, as you can see, there is this fair value gap. Price currently is hovering above it, this nice fair value gap. I'm expecting price to dig into that fair value gap during a Q zone and then give a nice market structure shift, give us entry to target buy side liquidity. As simple as that. Now let's look at S&P. Now S&P 500. We have cleared this high here on S&P 500. This very high, which comes now Friday, 16th June. Friday, 16th June 2023. This high has been swept on the S&P 500, but this same high, if we check that same high Friday, 16th June, on the NASDAQ, price didn't sweep that high. Same high Friday, 16th June 2023. NASDAQ failed to sweep that high. So what it means is an SMT divergence smart money technique. So what it means is that on the S&P 500, smart money is accumulating short positions after offsetting this buy side liquidity resting here. So they paired sell positions with this buy side liquidity and they are selling shorts, right? Now let's look at the 4-hour chart. So buy side liquidity has been paired, SMT divergence with NASDAQ on the daily chart, and on the 4-hour chart, there is a market structure shift right here on the 4-hour chart. And as you can see, there is a premium fair value gap. Price pulls back to it and gives a strong rejection to the downside. So I am bearish on S&P and the NASDAQ for this week. If I'm bearish on these two assets, where will be my target? There is this sell side liquidity here, and there is this sell side liquidity here. Now let's work it down to the 1 hour. Working it down to the 1 hour, there is this BC here, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Price currently is respecting it. My bias will be to see a candle close below it, and then price come to it and offer a resistance with it as a balance price range, a BPR, and then give a sell-off to this sell side liquidity, and then the sell side liquidity here. And then there is this 1 hour fair value gap within deep discount prices. I'm expecting those price levels to be hit for this week. So my bias is bearish for the week. Price could also just hold a little bit around here, give a pullback into premium in regard to this range, into a 15-minute fair value gap somewhere here or here, give a market structure shift during the Q zone, and then sell off to attack the sell side liquidity zone. So I'm looking for lower prices on S&P. So let's look at the NASDAQ as well. So NASDAQ makes a failure swing as S&P takes the high. NASDAQ fails to take that high. So SMT divergence. And then on the NASDAQ, looking at the left side, you can see that there was this clean equal high buy side liquidity. It was swept up here. After the liquidity was swept up there, it formed an SMT divergence with S&P 500, where this high has been protected on NASDAQ, but on S&P that high was swept. So SMT divergence, and on the 4-hour chart, you can see a clear market structure shift after SMT divergence and after liquidity, buy side liquidity purge, clear market structure shift. 4-hour premium fair value gap traded to strong rejection. So I am bearish looking at this momentum and then this structure with the idea and narrative of SMT divergence after buy side liquidity purge with 4-hour shift in market structure, order flow currently bearish on the 4-hour. I am bearish this week. Sell side liquidity possible target, equal lows possible target, and on the 1-hour chart we have some more target if price gets really weak. For 1-hour fair value gap could be also possible target. Now on the 1-hour chart, currently we have this fair value gap on the 1-hour chart. Price is using as support. If we get below it, I'm expecting it to be used as a BPR and offer resistance to then come and seek these lows. Price can also use this as support one more time to push up into premium of this range, fill some imbalances, and then seek aggressively sell side during the Q zone. So on the 15-minute chart, we have some clean imbalances within this range, this fair value gap, this fair value gap. So price can push up one more time into these fair value gaps, and then during the Q zone, give a market structure shift and aggressively attack the lows. So I am bearish on S&P and the NASDAQ. I am bullish on the dollar index this week. And sorry, I am bearish on the dollar index this week. And if I'm bearish on the dollar index for this week, it means I'm bullish on the pound and I'm bullish on the euro. But for the S&P and then the NASDAQ, I am bearish, and I'll be looking for confirmations during Q zones, Monday, New York, Tuesday, New York Q zones. I'll look for confirmations and I'll be looking for sales. So go back to your charts, mark up your charts, and then prepare for the week. Wednesday is CPI. Probably will not trade CPI Wednesday. So I might trade Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday. So let's see. Catch you guys later. Please subscribe and like this video. It helps this video to go a long way, as the YouTube algorithm would let other people be aware of this video and watch it as well.